When we think about captivating and memorable moments in film, we can usually point out several things about the scene. However, an aspect that is rarely mentioned about these scenes is its color. The color and visuals of the scene set the tone for the emotions and actions being displayed on screen. In cinematography, there is a loose set of rules for what colors to use to convey certain messages. Most directors will follow these rules and use certain colors to give emotion to scenes or characters themselves, and other directors will make their own rules for color in film. Barry Jenkins displays his own set of rules for colors in an Academy Award-winning film, Moonlight. Let's break down his use of color and discuss why it's so effective. Moonlight displays the childhood, teenage years, and young adult life of a gay black man by the name of Chiron. This coming-of-age film is divided into 3 chapters, each displaying a different part of Chiron's early life. Let's break down each main character from each chapter and find out how Barry Jenkins used color to portray these characters' emotions and desires. The first chapter of Moonlight displays a young Chiron scared and lost. In most of these scenes, Chiron is wearing a white-collared shirt, symbolizing that he is innocent and doesn't have himself figured out yet. However, his school backpack that he wears is bright blue, which we will soon learn is his signature color. In the current scene, Chiron is at the house of 2 strangers named Juan and Teresa. When we first meet Juan, we are uncertain whether we can trust him or not. However, the white that both Juan and Teresa wear, as well as the walls of their house, which is in the process of being painted white, displays that these are people that Chiron can trust. Barry Jenkins does this on purpose to show that Chiron is comfortable with these people and they are positive people in his life. If Juan and Teresa wore different colors, then the message conveyed could be different. If the couple was wearing colors such as black, red, or gray, they could be seen as a threat. If they were wearing colors such as yellow or orange, they could seem weird or strange. However, the light tone of this entire scene proves that they are good people.
At some point, you gotta decide for yourself who you want to be.
Another important scene from this chapter is when we are first introduced to Kevin, Chiron's best friend. Chiron is intimidated by the boys playing at recess and wanders off. Kevin follows him and talks to him about how he has to show the other boys that he's tough. They argue a small amount before wrestling in the grass to see who's tougher. In this scene, Kevin is wearing a white undershirt and a bright blue patterned shirt, displaying him as a friend of Chiron. While Chiron is wearing red in this scene, displaying his anger towards not fitting in, the environment in the scene is green and blue, giving this moment a much lighter tone. Kevin could have also been portrayed differently by wearing different colors, but wears colors similar to Chiron to prove that he is truly his friend. Also, Chiron could have worn different colors in the scene as well, but is wearing red to prove the desire he has to fit in with the boys playing.
See, little, I knew you wasn't soft.
Chiron's mother, Paula, is introduced in the same way Juan is. She wears a multicolored shirt, making her desires unknown. After Juan returns Chiron, Paula yells at Chiron, telling him not to wander off again. Her true colors show after this scene as she wears bright red the next 2 times we see her. She is angry at everything and is struggling to make ends meet. Paula seems to never pay good attention to her son and only uses him as a verbal punching bag. There is even a dream sequence in which young Chiron pictures his mom screaming at him in the same red shirt. Had Paula wore lighter colors, the audience would have a better understanding and perception of the effort she was giving to take care of herself and her son. Unfortunately, the red colors associated with her show that she is no good for him. In Chapter 2, Chiron is in high school, still as shy and conceited as before, just older and with more problems. Chiron now wears a blue and yellow shirt and is surrounded by the color yellow on some occasions. This yellow could symbolize his insecurities, his cowardice and shyness, or his naive nature. Kevin and Teresa wear white during this chapter, telling the audience that their relationship hasn't changed. In this chapter, Chiron will struggle more with Paula, with bullies, and with Kevin. Paula has gone off the rails in this chapter, becoming more reliant on drugs and just becoming more unaware of her situation. In this specific scene, Paula is wearing bright blue, which should symbolize kindness and understanding towards her son. However, Paula is just trying to persuade Chiron to give her more money. It shows how desperate Paula has become and how she is trying to manipulate her own son in order to get what she wants. The audience would have seen Paula's action coming had she continued to wear red or a dark color, but this light blue is tricking both the audience and Chiron into maybe giving her a chance. In the rest of the chapter, Chiron will face off against bullies, share a sexual encounter with his best friend Kevin on the beach, allow Kevin to beat him up at school, and get revenge on the bullies that forced Kevin to punch him. As these scenes progress, Chiron wears light blue once again, but uses this color to get revenge. This might display that this light blue is no longer the color that Chiron wants. The scenery changes as well, as his environment becomes more dark blue, foreshadowing the path that Chiron is going down. The third chapter shows a young adult Chiron who now lives a life eerily similar to how Juan lived. However, instead of wearing white like Juan, Chiron chooses to wear black, symbolizing a darker version of the man that he looked up to. Just like Chiron himself, who is now called Black, the rest of the scenes of the film have a much darker color scheme, except for this one. Paula and Kevin are the only two previous characters Chiron interacts with in this chapter. When we see Paula, she is still wearing that same bright blue shirt, however this time we're in rehab. Paula asks Chiron for forgiveness as she is getting better and now understands how terrible of a mother she was to him. Chiron doesn't seem to budge as he is still emotionally closed off and still believes his mother will never make up for the things she did to him. This is a redeeming moment for Paula. She admits her mistakes and it makes this bright blue a redeeming color once again. Finally, Chiron visits Kevin at the restaurant he works at. Chiron is unsure of this place and what his old friend will think of him now. This is conveyed by the entire restaurant having a red tone to it. Red can also portray a sense of danger, as Chiron does not feel comfortable or safe in this environment. Kevin still wears white, showing how little he's changed. Kevin seems unbothered by Chiron's major physical changes, and they have a good time catching up. When they go back to Kevin's house, he changes into a bright blue shirt, relating himself once again to his friend Chiron. Additionally, Kevin's house also has yellow walls, showing that Chiron is still timid and shy on the inside. This is shown through Chiron's shaky dialogue as he is unsure what to say and whether or not he should open up to his old friend. Chiron learns a valuable lesson from Kevin in this scene, that it's never too late to live the life you want, and they end the scene embracing. This final scene of the film shows Chiron as a child looking back at the camera in front of a blue ocean. The scene has a very blue tone, as even Chiron looks blue in the lighting. This scene shows that in order for him to have the same peace that he had as a child with Juan and Teresa, he just has to become again his true self. Through dissecting the cinematography and use of color in specific scenes in Moonlight, we can conclude that the movie would be far different had the director chose other colors to portray certain things in the film. Also, we can conclude that these colors can be character specific and can help the audience understand the desires and emotions of each character. Overall, the use of color in Moonlight helped tell the full story and aided the audience's ability to decipher each character's desires and motives.